Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of LJ Lit Reader. I'm LJ and I'm here to talk about books. So today, what am I going to talk about? I'm going to talk about books and reading. I've been writing a lot of notes, so I hope everyone's ready for this. This week I read The Queen of Shadows by Sarah J Maas, Wolfsong by TJ Klune, and I DNF'd Scarred by Emily McIntyre at 50%. I'm going to talk about Scarred quickly first. I don't really know what to say about it other than it's not for me. I gave it a good go. I finished it at 50%. I just couldn't get into the characters, didn't feel for the relationships, didn't have anything to root for, didn't have anything that kept me going. I liked Hooked, didn't like Scarred. It didn't do anything for me. So, I mean, I might try some more Emily McIntyre books. Obviously, I bought a whole set. Oh, why did I do that? And maybe I'll give it a go and hopefully it might be a bit better. But yeah, DNF that one. We're saying goodbye to Scarred. I'm not persevering with it anymore. I'm currently reading Wolfsong by TJ Klune, which I have almost finished and I have lots and lots of thoughts about. But I will start with Wolfsong first. And I'm also reading The Empire of Storms by Sarah J Maas, which carries on from the enjoyment I had of Queen of Shadows. So Queen of Shadows I rated 4.5 stars. Future Lorna with a synopsis of Queen of Shadows. Everyone Selena Sardothian loves has been taken from her, but she's at last returned to the Empire for vengeance, to rescue her once glorious kingdom and to confront the shadows of her past. She has embraced her identity as Aelin Galthinius, the Queen of Terrasen, but before she can reclaim her throne, she must fight. She will fight for her cousin, a warrior prepared to die for her. She will fight for her friend, a young man trapped in an unspeakable prison. And she will fight for her people, enslaved to a brutal king and awaiting their lost queen's triumphant return. I picked this one up because it fulfilled a prompt that I had for the Magical Readathon, which was, hang on, the D class for psionics and divination. The prompt was Introduction to Tarot, base your book pick on a randomly generated tarot symbol. I picked the 8 of Wands, which comes with the definition of movement, fast pace, rapid action, quick decisions and sudden changes, which I said was a cliffhanger or a wicked twist type book. So my immediate thinking was Sarah J Maas, because she's the queen of fast pace, quick changes, plot. Oh my god. So yeah, so I chose Sarah J Maas, and I have read the ACOTAR series. I love the ACOTAR series, a big fan of the ACOTAR series, and so I went with the continuation of the Throne of Glass series that I had started. I wasn't that much of a big fan of the first two. The third one was alright, but this one gets a thumbs up from me. I really enjoyed it. So I'd heard good things about the latest books of the Throne of Glass series, and I decided I'd give it a go. But I am really pleased that I did, because this definitely fulfilled the prompt, and it definitely had the fast pace, the quick decisions, the rapid action, sudden changes. Sarah J Maas had all of that in this book. I really enjoyed it, and I'm glad that I ended up picking it. I really enjoyed going back into the world of Aelin, Galthinius, Rowan, Manon, especially Abraxos, because I think he's great. And these characters are so much better than they were. You can see how she's evolved as a writer by this point. You can see how much better she is at this. I could put Kale on the bin. Kale is boring and terrible, and I don't understand why we need to keep reading about him, because he just needs to go in the bin. I'm not really that much of a fan of Dorian either, but I mean, he did save the day at the end of the book, but I mean, I'll only be interested if something happens between him and Manon. If something happens between him and Manon, then I will be interested. This carries on from the Heir of Fire, and the pacing in this one is much better than the first 3 books of the series. It has a lot more depth of character, and you are more invested in the story because there's more going on to keep your interest. So you're following more characters, more storylines, things tying together. There was definitely good pacing, plot twists, wild rides were had. I was captured and it totally fulfilled my prompt. And as I said earlier, you can see where she's evolved as a writer, you know, the characters, their depths, how they all tie in together, how things are linked in previous books, and how she's drawing on world building, making that world building more intense. It's developing, it's growing. And, you know, there were things that, you know, you didn't expect. The end, for one, wasn't expecting that. And I'm excited to see how things will continue to evolve with the return of magic to the world, and how the magic system will work, and also how Dorian's power will evolve. And what was that brutal takedown that happened? Not trying to give anything away or not. Things that, you know, are great. Ailyn is more mature. The first 2 books she's quite immature and it can be a bit grating. This one she's making plans, she's getting people on her side, she's growing, she's developing, she's coming into her queenhood. She's, you know, she's getting it going. It's less about dresses, more about impressing. You know, it's all good. I want to see what happens with Rowan and Ailyn, because they finally admitted they have feelings for each other. There's a romance brewing. It's all going in good places. Obviously, their chemistry is fire, and I want to see more of them together. That would be great. Manon and Dorian, I feel, had a spark as well, and especially when Dorian was bad Dorian and not nice, him and Manon had definite sparks going on. I am interested to see where Manon will go, because the Vogue seem to be scared of her, which is very interesting. I did think that this book had more humanity, and it balanced her out a bit with her bloodlust, which I thought was really good. And also what's going on with Lorcan and his side quest type character. But I did enjoy the fight with Lorcan, Rowan and Ailyn, and I can see them becoming quite a good team. Anyway, going back to Manon, because I got distracted there. Why have I written that there? I could have written it somewhere else. Anyway, Manon and her fight with Ailyn was epic, and it was really nice to see Ailyn meet someone who was evenly matched with her, and also you didn't know which way it was going to go, and that made it exciting. I have no idea how they're going to defeat this big bad guy. He's been ramped up to be bad beyond epic proportions, and I'm not really sure how any of them have enough power or organisation to take him down. So I'm going to be interested to see how Ailyn will suddenly pull out the bag, you know, alliances, to have people on her side. Whoopsie, I was in a reading sprint. What was I doing? Turn that off. I'm perturbed though, because I've been told I now need to tandem read the next one with a book purely about Kale, and I really don't want to read that, and I don't know if I can get away with not reading it. Can you get away with not reading a book just about Kale? Can I just be pleasantly surprised by whatever happens? Can I do spoilers? I don't know. I just don't want to read a 500-600 page book purely about the most boring man on the planet. I just don't think I have the heart or soul in me to do it. You know, can he be redeemed? Can he grow a fucking personality? I don't know. I liked the bonding between Rowan and Adrian too, and how they care about Aelin, and it's nice for her to have someone, well, obviously more than one person on her side, because she's gone through quite a lot and she's had a lot taken away from her, and it's nice to have people that just genuinely care about her, and for her to find family and love. Not just love, it's family and love, and that made it more important. And I'm really glad that she's found family. I just hope that Elide gets there too, and Elide can find family too, because you can tell she's going to get in with the witches, but I want her to find Aelin, and I want there to be some kind of link between them that brings the Blackbeaks and Aelin together, and then they all become on the same side. That would be awesome. Really enjoyed that. Gonna read Empire of Storms and see how that goes. I think I've done about 3 chapters, so I don't really have much to say about Empire of Storms yet because I'm not into it yet. I am enjoying the Throne of Glass series at last. It's only taken me 6 years. Whoopsie. I remember reading the second one on my Hindu and thinking this is the most boring book on the planet. And when I read the third one, I thought, oh, this is all right. And then I just didn't pick it up. So yeah, I'm really glad that I did. It fulfilled a prompt and set me on my way for getting through to this magical readathon, because I have been having a slumpy month. I have not been reading as well as I was, and I think half of that was down to fucking Scarred, because it just put me off reading for life. Oh my god. Anyway, what have I been reading next? Wolfsong by TJ Klune. I have thoughts on this. Future Lorna coming in with a synopsis of Wolfsong, so everything that I say has a little bit more context. Ox Matheson was 12 when his father taught him a lesson. Ox wasn't worth anything and people would never understand him. Then he left. Ox was 16 when the energetic Bennet family moved in next door, harbouring a secret that would change him forever. For the family are shapeshifters who can transform into wolves at will. Drawn to their magic, loyalty and enduring friendships, Ox feels a gulf between this extraordinary new world and the quiet life he's known. He also finds an ally in Joe, the youngest Bennet boy. Joe is charming and handsome, but haunted by the scars he cannot heal from. Ox was 23 when murder came to town and tore a hole in his heart. Violence flared, tragedy split the pack, and Joe left town, leaving Ox behind. 3 years later, the boy is back, except now he's a man, and Ox can no longer ignore the song that howls between them. Wolfsong is the first book in the Green Creek series by the best-selling author TJ Klune. Oh my god, do I have thoughts. There's going to be spoilers here, and I'm sorry. There was spoilers in the last one. I'm giving all the games away here tonight, guys. I'm sorry. I can't hold back on this one, though. Right, so first things first, I need to establish that for the first good chunk of this book, it reads as creepy, grooming cult gangs, and it doesn't come across well. I think for the first third, I was a bit like, what the fuck am I reading? Why am I invested in this cult gang? Why am I allowing grooming to happen? Why is this so weird? How on earth was it okay for this poor boy to be groomed as badly as he was by not just like one group of people, but 2 groups of people? He was groomed by Gordo, because Gordo made him his fucking tether, which was weird and creepy. And then he was groomed by the Bennet family, who were all touchy-feely and basically just adopted him, but in a weird touchy-feely grooming, you're gonna be one of us creepy way. And I just kept thinking, why is everyone okay with this? Why is this okay? It's not okay. And then for him to have like a 10-year-old basically imprint on him, and basically a 10-year-old decides that a 16-year-old boy is now going to be his mate, and then doesn't really allow him to live his life. It was so creepy and weird. And then the middle part happened, and I cried like a baby. I cried, and I was sat sobbing. I was doing reading sprint and I was sobbing, and tears were, my eyes were sore for like a day afterwards. I was so upset. And then I realised at 40-something% I was well and truly invested in this book, and that I now was deeply in love with Ox, and I needed to know everything that was going to happen and persevere with it. So, yeah, I don't understand how on earth something that started so creepy and weird and not right had me in such a chokehold. Because at one point there was a 17-year-old and a 23-year-old man, and they were being romantic together, and it felt gross. And in the UK, a 16-year-old can be with anyone of whatever age that they want. No, they can't. Well, they can, but it's weird. It's weird to go with a 16-year-old because they're still a child. I don't know why the age of consent is 16 in this country. Doesn't make any sense. Everyone should just wait until they're 18 and then everything is fine because it's all consensual and great. But anyway, a 17-year-old boy and a 23-year-old man is weird, and I don't know why I found it so weird, because my husband is 10 years older than me. We have a 10-year age gap, and when I met him, I was 23 and he was 33. Okay, and that was fine. That was okay. I never thought that was weird. In a book like this, a 6-year age gap, gross. As soon as they're under the age of 20, it's gross. Wolfsong I'm enjoying, but I don't understand why people think it's cute. It's like a grooming gang. This kid is being groomed, like, massively. Do we like that? Is that something we enjoy? I don't know. But he's being groomed, and I don't know how I feel about it. So, yeah. So, why am I here ranting? Because I fucking fell in love with Oxnard Matheson, and I can't explain to you how much I loved Ox. His... it was his heart, and, you know, oh my god, him, the Bennett family, Gordo, you know, fucking Chris, Tanner, Enrico, Jesse, and Maggie, and bloody Maggie. I could cry again thinking about Maggie. Maggie, the relationship between Maggie and Ox was beautiful, and it's not fair or right what happened to any of them. It just isn't. So, I need to tell you how invested I am in this book and how much I loved it and how much I love these characters. I love these characters with my heart and soul, and if anyone hurts them, I will come after them because they're just beautiful. And I can't decide at this point whether it's the writing style or just the characters, but whatever this man has done, this TJ Klune, he has got me. He has got me. I just wanted Ox to, you know, get a break and find some happiness, and I just was proud of him. I was so proud of him, and I think that's why I'm so invested in him, because I was just so proud of his growth and his resilience, and the way he just kept coming back and coming back and coming back, and he just was, I'm so protective of him. I feel like his mother. I love him so much with all my heart and soul. I haven't been this truly gripped by a book for a while. The writing style, and it was simplistic. It wasn't even flowery or over the top or any of it. Most of it was just like repetitive words where they kept going pack, 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 or love, mate, pack, bond stuff, and you'd think this is really simple childish writing, but it just worked. It works, okay? It was something about having ordinary people but in a fantasy extraordinary world, and making them real and not perfect, and giving them human characteristics and human personalities in a fantastical world, and not making them, you know, the prince and all of that. I'm just gripped, totally gripped by this book. This wolf magic story set in a small town in the mountains of Oregon has captured my heart, and I am so totally invested in these characters and in the town of Green Creek. I'm just so invested. The writing style is so good, and I'm absolutely looking forward to reading every other thing this man has written. I plan on ploughing through the rest of the werewolf stories. I know I've got to do the magical readathon. There are a few things I need left to do, but I'm making Ravensong one of my other prompts. I changed it. I changed it specifically so I could carry on reading. But it was a 5-star prediction, and I knew I would love Ravensong. If Ravensong was like Wolfsong, I knew I was going to love it. So I started on Ravensong, and I was like, right, okay, I'm changing that prediction from Binding 13, which I am also looking forward to reading, and I was like, right, fucking reading Ravensong. So I'm about to finish it. It's going to be a 5-star. I've enjoyed every single second of it, and Gordo has my heart as well. But anyway, I have to just carry on because Ox Matheson is a thing of beauty. And to take a character that everyone describes as dumb or stupid and slow, and to just give him this powerful, powerful, endearing heart of gold with this alpha, rugged, manly personality that makes him doubt himself and have human emotion, and he goes on about how if he cries he's not a real man, and every time he says that I cry and I can't help myself because it's just so emotional. And he's just so beloved by everyone that he meets, and he's just such a top guy. I've never loved a character more than I love Ox Matheson. Every time he doubted himself, put his family first, overcame hardship, loss, challenges. I swear to God, this character made me cry so much and love him and want to protect him so much. I like Joe. Joe was fine. Joe was good. But I would take Ox. I would just have a book just about Ox. Again and again and again. You can take or leave Joe. Ox Matheson was just, he has my heart and soul. He is a thing of beauty. And anyway, to stop going on about Ox Matheson so much because I love him so much, I have to confess that every single one of Rico's one-liners had me in stitches. I keep highlighting them because they make me laugh. This book also has sexual scenes, and obviously it's an LGBTQIA romance, and it has sexual scenes, but I wouldn't call it smut. I would call it pure lovemaking, and it was just intensely important and loving and heartfelt and irrelevant to the story. And it's not just sexual scenes for the sake of sex. It was graphic, but also raw and intimate, and it felt intrusive reading it because it was so intimately written, and it didn't feel fantasized or glorified in any way. It just felt real. Another thing that I really loved about this story was the found family element. I loved it more than I think I loved the love interest relationship that was brewing, because as I said, the first third I found it deeply creepy and a bit uncomfortable. But I was absolutely enamoured with the found family dynamics here. The found family dynamics for this story were just off the scales, so good. I would definitely put this as like the epic style of Brokeback Mountain but with werewolves. And I now need to devour every other book this man has written. I have to read all the other TJ Klune books that are in the world, because if the writing style is like this and Ravensong, then I am sold. I am absolutely sold. Okay, my magical readathon TBR. First of all, I want to be a mind mender. I'm a human. I have a wand and a dagger, and I am a wildling, and I come from Carador, and I fulfilled all of these prompts. So let's just say let's go on to the Mindmender prompts, because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Right, okay, so Mindmender TBR. Here we go. That's my calling, because I still am not really sure what's going on. So the first thing was for spells and incantations, which was the charm Dancing Stars, which was O. And that was a 5-star prediction, which I originally said was Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh, but I have recently changed that to Ravensong. Then we went on to Psionics and Divination, and I have 3 prompts to that. The O prompt is Rewind Time, a favourite author's debut. That one's caused a lot of contention with me, but I think I'm going to read Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone because it's small and I know it's an easy read. I know I'm going to enjoy it, and one of my favourite authors is J.K. Rowling, so that one seemed to fit the bill. I read most people's debuts as I am introduced to them, so I haven't got a favourite author where I haven't read their first book, so it would be reading again. So I was just choosing something small. The second prompt is Q, significance of reoccurrence. Same letter appears in the title 4 or more times. For that one, I've chosen The Sinister Booksellers of Bath by Garth Nix. Garth Nix is one of my favourite authors, and I know I'll enjoy that. The third prompt is D, Introduction to Tarot. Base your book picked on randomly generated tarot symbols. I generated the 8 of Wands, which is movement, fast pace, rapid action, quick decisions, and sudden changes, which I said was a book that had wicked twists or cliffhanger. I decided to go for a Sarah J. Maas book, which was The Queen of Shadows, which I have actually read now. Restoration prompt O, Night Dew, Night Sky on cover. I said Wolfsong met that requirement because it's got a big moon and a night sky. Q, Dangerous Plant, Poisonous Plant on cover or in title. I've chosen the book Belladonna by Adeline Grace. So I've chosen Belladonna by Adeline Grace. So the books that I will be reading for the Magical Readathon are Ravensong by T.J. Klune, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone by J.K. Rowling, The Sinister Booksellers of Bath by Garth Nix, Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas, Wolfsong by T.J. Klune, and Belladonna by Adeline Grace. So I have read almost 3 of those, and I'm hoping to whiz through the next 3 in the next 13 days. Can I do it? Let's hope so. Anyway, that was a very short TBR. I was going to make it a separate video, but I realised that I actually am so much of a novice at the Magical Readathon world, and I feel embarrassed by my lack of knowledge and lack of understanding of what the bloody hell I am. I'm going to be way more on it next year, and I'm going to be there straight off the bat and understand what I'm doing. But I did fulfill all of my prompts to get to the Mindmender calling for the first part of the year. Well, I don't know where I wrote what they were, but I know that I have read books that fulfilled them. Okay, I've had a look. I haven't read all the things from the spring equinox for the Magical Readathon. I think I just listened to what everyone was saying, that you could just jump in whenever, and I've kind of just gone for it. Whoops. Anyway, I will be reading those books. I might be cheating, I might be doing it wrong, but yeah, I'm having a great time. I'm still over the moon about finding Wolfsong. Wolfsong has changed my life. So I'm just adding this into the end of this video because I've really ranted on about Wolfsong quite enough tonight. Anyway, my schedule has gone right out of the window. Everything has been chaos. I've actually been quite unwell. Again, I'm unwell again. At this time I had a coil fitted, and surprise surprise, the coil has not agreed with me, and I've ended up at the doctor's about it. Too much information. Look away if you're grossed out by anything gross. But I'm bleeding quite heavily, and I'm in quite a lot of pain with it. So I haven't got my normal amazing makeup on because I can't be arsed, and I haven't got my hair stuff in, so I'm wearing a hat. I am feeling a bit gross and rubbish about myself, and therefore I will be just making this short and sweet. I'm hoping I'll finish Wolfsong tonight, and then I'll be able to record some more and then be able to make that one long video. If not, it'll just be quite a short one, which I don't know if anyone's unhappy about. Anyway, thank you so much for watching my videos. Thank you for listening to my rambles. I really enjoy seeing your comments, and I love that you guys have taken the time to watch my videos. Love to you all, and hopefully I'll see you again next week.